Hey guys, and welcome back to Trials and Tribulations. In the last part, Ron admitted that he hid the body in the safe. And so now we're going to question him about the fact that he hid the body in the safe. So let's do it. Why did you hide the body in the safe anyway? Well, because it wouldn't fit in a drawer. That's not exactly what I meant. When I saw that corpse, I kinda lost it. I thought, if they find this corpse, they'll think I did it. I think he had a simpler reason than that. It's because you killed him! That's why you spent 10 minutes hiding the body. That certainly makes more sense. H. Hold on. 10 minutes? What is it, Nick? I just had a thought. Under those circumstances, would you normally try to hide the body? And spend 10 whole minutes to do it? Under those circumstances? What circumstances? Oh! Hey, Nick, if you think his behavior was so strange, why don't you present some evidence that would show just what those circumstances were? That's it. I'll take a look at the court record and present some evidence. We heard this from Mr. Delight yesterday, didn't we? There's not much in his testimony either. I bet she's still hiding something. I wouldn't be surprised. Well, we'll just have to draw it out of him. I just hope he doesn't make things any more complicated. Yeah. Okay, so guide time because I'm a friggin' cheater. Okay. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh. Wait, what? What was this? Why don't I try pressing this just to be safe? When you came to? Yes, I was passed out in the corner of the room. Do you know when your assailant made their escape and to where? I'm afraid I don't really remember. Huh? Why not? Once they hit me, I lost all track of what was going on. I think that's when they made their escape. Huh. That's certainly a convenient story for you, isn't it? It certainly is, isn't it, Mr. Wright? It almost sounds practiced. I don't know why you're telling me. Alright, anyway. I panicked and hit the body. It took about 10 minutes. Now, let's see here. Okay. Let me see here. There it is. Okay. The buzzer went off once at 1:02 a.m. There it is. Suck it, cinnamon bun head. Yeah. You're so friggin' insulted. Anyway. Your Honor, could you please take a look at this record? And what might this be? The record for the emergency buzzer that connects the CEO's office to security. If the button in the office is pressed, a security team is supposed to come running. And according to this record, the buzzer was pushed once at 1:02 a.m. What? If Mr. Rondelite truly was the murderer, he would have ran as soon as that buzzer sounded. After all, a security guard would have been heading his way. Objection! God. Let's remember who we're dealing with here. He probably had no idea there were security personnel in the building. Are you kidding me? Come on. Up until 1 year ago, my client was working as a chief of security. There's no way he wouldn't have known about them. Objection! But, as it turns out, the guard never came. That was nothing more than a coincidence. In fact, the guard was a pathetic loser who had just gotten punched in the face by his ex's new boyfriend. Wasn't anywhere near in the vicinity of something Mr. Delight couldn't have known. I totally butchered that line. I don't care, because you get the gist. Again, remember who we're dealing with here. It's a sure bet that Mr. Delight didn't even notice the buzzer going off. This buzzer is extremely loud. There's no way he could have ignored something like that. If he had been conscious, that is. Conscious? What do you mean by that? Ugh. Fine. Let's hear your theory. Remember the defendant's testimony. The moment he entered the victim's office, someone attacked him. Mr. Delight said he felt dazed. I'm willing to wager that he was knocked unconscious for at least a few moments. Unconscious? So he fainted? That's why Mr. Delight didn't know that the buzzer had sounded. And that's why he thought he had time to hide the body. So what are you trying to say? Mr. Delight was knocked out, and the buzzer went off soon afterwards. Now, unless my client was able to hit the buzzer while he was unconscious, It can only mean that there was another person in that room. That's right. Whoever it was knocked out Ron Delight and then pressed the buzzer. God. And yes, I love this song. It's so good. Or order in the court. Mr. Wright, this is...
Objection!
This is objection. This is preposterous. It was this kid. Ron Delight is the one who killed Kane Bullard.
Objection!
Then who pressed the buzzer? It was the victim, of course. He pressed the buzzer when the defendant attacked him. He didn't die right away. He must have held on long enough to push that button. Ack! So Kane Bullard sounded the buzzer himself. What is your opinion on this, Mr. Wright? I need to prove that the real criminal was there at the scene, but how? Can I prove it wasn't Kane Bullard who sounded the buzzer? Yes, I can prove it all right. The defense's opinion is this, Your Honor. This piece of evidence proves that it wasn't the victim who sounded the buzzer. Come on, I'm on a roll now. Come on, present it already, God. I believe this is the piece of incontrovertible evidence you were looking for. And yeah, only one failed attempt. The emergency buzzer? Is there some kind of clue on it? Absolutely not. Hey, come on now. At least give some thought to what you say before you're opening your mouth. Yeah, you too. Frickin' bleach face, bleach head, robot man. Shut up. You're annoying. Shut up about coffee. Okay. The fact that there are absolutely no clues is itself the clue. Now I'm the one who's clueless. This button has no fingerprints on it. It must... God. I just imagine, you know how they do that little sound effect, that little doing sound effect when there's like a new piece of something brought up? I just imagine it getting higher and higher and higher and higher pitched. That'd be hilarious if they just did it over and over again. But anyway, if Mr. Bullard had really pressed it himself, naturally he would have left his fingerprints behind. Sorry. Ron Delight obviously wiped them off. Why would he? A guard could have come at any moment. He touched that button. I know he did. Nope. The defendant, Mr. Delight, was dressed as Masked Star Damascus. And Masked Damask always wears gloves. What reason could he have possibly had to wipe the button free of fingerprints? Order, order, order. It would seem. I need more coffee. Once again, I've been forced to eat crow. I don't know what that means. I wonder what blend number crow-flavored coffee is. However, if the real killer was there at the scene, why would that person press the emergency buzzer? Shouldn't they have run away without putting themselves in extra danger? What's with this awkward silence all of a sudden? I love that. It looks like you're fresh out of parlor tricks. They're on to you, Nick. Just give me a minute to collect my thoughts. The real culprit killed Mr. Bullard around 1 a.m. Mr. Delight just happened to waltz in when the murder was taking place, right? Oh, wait, that was her voice. Derp. The killer clobbered Mr. Delight and then sounded the buzzer. Even though security was supposed to respond right away if the buzzer was pressed. Security was supposed to respond? Time's up, Mr. Wright. Let's hear what you have to say. Very well, then. Oh-ho. You've got some guts. I like that in an opponent. Why did the real killer sound the emergency buzzer? They didn't mean to call the security guard to find out what it did. To call the security guard. Duh. That's not hard to deduce. The killer knew that if they pressed that button, a guard would come running. And that was exactly what they wanted. Do you mean to say the killer called the guard on purpose? Yes. Although, as it turned out, he never showed up. Because he was getting his clock cleaned at the time. Huh. What a touching story. You're saying the killer had a change of heart and called the guard to turn himself in? No, I'm not. When that buzzer sounded, there were 3 people in that office. The victim, Kane Bullard, who was already dead. the defendant, Ron Delight, who was out cold, and the third person, the real killer. Hypothetically, yes. Now then, in this situation, if the real killer made an escape, what would happen? The only ones left in the room would be the victim and Ron Delight. And if any security guards came running in at that time, they would think that I was the murderer. Yes, that was precisely the real killer's objective. To frame Ron Delight for the murder. Ugh, I love how literally he drinks coffee just so he can do a spit take. That is amazing. Order, 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 and stop spitting all over me. It would seem. I need more coffee again. God. I've been made to eat my words once again. Actually, even made to do a spit take with a cup of coffee. He wasn't made to do it. He did it on his own. He literally wanted to do a spit take. Who does that? No one does that. You only do that if it's like totally on accident, you know? It's like someone just tells a really random joke out of nowhere while you're drinking. It makes you die, and then you spit it out. You don't mean to. Whatever. God. But Mr. Wright, who was it? Who was it that tried to frame me? Wait a second. I'm the one and only Mask to Mask, so... Nick, you mean the real killer is... We're gonna drag that person in here right now. But who is it? I don't have any solid proof yet, but think about it. The killer knew Mr. Delight's identity. They also knew that he had been called to KB security that night. So the killer used him to execute a well-crafted plan to murder Kane Bullard. Now then, let's hear your accusation, Mr. Wright. Who was it that framed Mr. Ron Delight for the murder of Kane Bullard? I know who it was. It was him. It was him! Mr. Gay Voice! Except that's not really the gay voice I'm going to use for a later character, so don't worry, people. Yeah, I've got a gay voice all prepared for the next character. Anyway, Detective Luke Atmey. He's the only one who could have done it. Ace Detective. Luke Atmey? You mean Mask did it? Your Honor, the person being tried in court next to us is not Mask to Mask at all. He is, in actuality, the true murderer of Kane Bullard. Doesn't mean he's not Mask to Mask, but whatever. Order! Order! Mr. Wright, explain yourself! Theft and murder. Which is the more serious crime? They're not even close. Murder is more serious crime, of course. It's a capital crime subject to a capital punishment. Please remember the trial from yesterday, if you would. When Luke Atmey confessed, there was a huge commotion in the courtroom. Of course, a famous detective was unmasked as, well, as Mask to Mask. Instead of being convicted of murder, he was found guilty of grand larceny. That was his true objective all along. To be found guilty? Mask to Mask had the perfect alibi for when the murder took place. He was stealing the urn at Lordly Taylor. In other words, being found guilty as Mask to Mask was Luke Atmey's airtight, watertight, and unassailable alibi. God, I can't talk. Guilty verdict. As an alibi? Yes, as an alibi. We just explained it to you. Now stop being surprised. You know, it's almost time. For what? For Luke Atmey's verdict. It was a pretty simple trial, after all. If we're gonna stop this trial and stall that one, we need to do it now. Of course, that's assuming you have proof that the detective was the one who committed the murder. Mr. Luke Atmey's trial has indeed attracted the attention of the entire country. If we were to intrude and fail to provide adequate proof of his true crime, Mr. Delight would be left with no grounds for appeal. Am I really sure about this? I bet's only good when your wife's the ante. That's a stupid way to say it, but whatever. Mr. Wright, I believe in you. Mr. Delight, I love you. Anyway, can I have your cinnamon bun hair? I want to eat it. So please, I'm begging you. I hate your voice. Thanks, but My decision will determine the rest of your life, what's left of it. Can I really risk your life like this? Phoenix. Yeah. What was that? What, you don't remember those tits? Come on, who could ever forget them? Okay, sorry. Sorry. Don't stray, Phoenix. For your client, take the path of trust. Yeah, I know. That voice. It sounds like... Mia! Yeah, I already know. Your Honor, the defense requests an immediate recess. So that's your answer, huh? Very well. I've decided as well. This court will now take a 20-minute recess. Mr. Wright, when we return, please summon Mr. Luke Atmey to the stand. Yes, Your Honor. Let's get him. Quick. Only 2 minutes before he's declared guilty. I mean, not guilty. Hey, look who it is. He. God, that reminds me of some cartoon character. I'm trying to remember. Is it that guy that Dexter hates? I don't... No, that's... ha. That's that guy. But it's the same kind of voice. So, yeah, that is pretty much him. So, he. Well, Sir Detective Atmey? I have to say, Mr. Payne, you performed splendidly. Oh, no, Sir Detective Atmey. You were the one who... Smack. That's enough. I love this guy. That's the judge's brother. Like, that's literally his name. It's not Judge, it's Judge's brother or something. It's like his cousin. This court sees no reason to further prolong this trial. This court finds the defendant, Luke Atmey. Wait! Don't hand down your verdict yet, please! Well, Sir Lawyer, welcome to my courtroom. It's not your courtroom. Who is this hoser, eh? Oh yeah, he's Canadian, by the way. So there's that. I don't have a Canadian accent, so tough luck. My name is Phoenix Wright, attorney at law. Harvey Birdman, attorney at law is funnier. I wish to file an accusation against this man, Luke Atmey. Accusation? You accuse Mask to Mask? That man is not Mask to Mask. He's just a ruthless murderer. What? Why does your nose sweat? That's disgusting, man. That shouldn't happen. That's like nasty, jeez. Or at least the very tip of it. Anyway, next time, we'll continue. So see you guys then.